What is up, everyone? It is MetroGave75. Here today we're playing Sakura Gym Girls. This is part 1, and anyways, Happy New Year to everyone, and let's get started. Oh yes, I'm finally about to start this game this year. Thank you very much for your patronage, ma'am. Please come again. My customer, an elderly woman with white hair and a hunchback, thanks me and takes her book from the counter. Then after saying goodbye in a reedy voice, she shuffles out of the store. The bell over the door dings in her absence, and once again the store fills with silence. I lean back in my chair and sigh, my arms folded. It's almost lunchtime, and that elderly woman who came in to buy a few murders mysterious is the second customer I've had all day. I hardly dare to check the contents of the old-fashioned till. I know it'll only depress me. I've been running this bookstore for almost 3 years now, ever since my grandfather passed away. This store used to belong to him. It was his pride and joy, and he invested a huge amount of time and money into it. For 50 years, my grandfather worked here. He sat behind the counter I'm sitting right now. He used this very till the store crumpled notes and loose coins when he greeted or bade goodbye to his customers. They would enter and exit through that door. The store hasn't changed a single bit during the last 50 years, even after I took over it. I've been wondering for a while whether shouldn't try to modernize this place to better suit the needs of consumers in the 21st century, but I can't bring myself to do that. Sure, this store might be a relic of the past, and maybe it doesn't get that many customers, but changing things up would feel like betrayal of my grandfather. He loved this store just the way it was, and when I used to come here as a little kid, I loved it too. I still do. I don't want to change it, but I'm starting to worry that this might be an inevitability. This isn't good. If things keep going like this, then... So, hey? Whoa. Look who it is. Asa, my most trusted and only employee, calls out to me, her expression quizzical. She was busy sorting out the shelves in this last half hour, but I've guessed she must have finished with this laborious, uninterested task. Else wouldn't she wouldn't be striking up a conversation. Are you alright? I'm fine, don't worry about me. Are you sure? I'm sure. I'm alright, at least for the moment. I've been able to keep the store going for the last few years, somehow or another, but... Well, okay. Since it's lunchtime, do you want to go on break? Let you can use some rest. I can look after the store for you while you're gone. Is that alright? Of course, I had a big breakfast this morning, so I'm not very hungry. I could keep going for hours and hours. Ha, well, I'm glad to hear it. I won't ask you to defer your lunch break for hours, of course, but I'll gladly go to lunch early. Yes, you do that. Don't work yourself too hard. Chance would be a fine thing given how dead the store is most of the time. And don't get too down on yourself either. Oh, Asa must have read my mind because she's looking rather serious. The store will be in safe hands with me. You've nothing to worry about. I'm not so sure about that last part, but thanks, Asa. You really are reliable. I have no idea what I'd do without you. I always be saying this all the time for someone. The day trickles by. Eventually, Asa and I shut up the store. With the lights turned off and the shutters drawn, the pair of us then head to the nearby izakaya. It's one of my favorite places to go to unwind, mostly because of how cheap its beer and snacks are. Naturally, since Asa is my most valued and only employee, I offer to foot her bill on the occasions we come here. I think she deserves a treat every once in a while, given how hard she works. Sometimes I think I like to just take Asa out to a fancier joint so I can properly show my appreciation for her. But Asa seems fond enough of it here, small and smoky though it is. Asa's rather shy, and she doesn't like drawing too much attention to herself. When we come here, she usually takes a table in a corner away from the eyes of the other patrons. I think she'd feel too awkward to go on a generally swanky restaurant. Besides, I don't think Asa has any clothes that really suit a French or Italian sit-down joint. I've worked with Asa for almost 3 years, and I've never seen her wear anything other than shirts and jeans. I don't know if she owns any skirts, much less than even dress. I can't really picture Asa dress up like that. I don't think it would suit her. I think she looks plenty nice the way she is already. That's my opinion at least, but hey Sohei, I know this might seem sudden, but there's something I want to ask you. Bro, should go to ask us on a date or something? I really want to know your opinion about something as a man, and please promise you'll be honest with me. Don't feel obliged to lie to spare my feelings. I can't. I can take it. Hmm? Asa looks pretty agitated about something. She barely touched her beard and she's not had a single chicken skewer, though I had much. She likes them. Now that I think about it, Asa's been acting a little oddly all day. She's always been on the quiet side, but she was even quieter than usual back at work, and she stumbled over her own feet while stalking the shelves. I wonder what's going on. Is something the matter? You can say that, I suppose. It's been playing on my mind for a while, but you know my older sister got married last weekend, don't you? Oh boy, here we go. Of course, I remember. You telling me about it. Asa's older sister Chisato is 6 years Asa's senior. I've not met her before, but Asa described her to be, and she sounds like a successful businesswoman, sensible and mature. She met her now husband back at university, and after dating for almost 8 years, they finally tied the knot. Asa seemed happy enough for her sister, but also a bit despondent. She didn't tell me in so many words what was bothering her, but I have to wonder whether she started to worry about her own love life, or Asa's only 24. I think she's still too young to fuss about finding the one, but I know women can be touchy about this sort of thing. I'm certain that where this conversation is heading, but I don't prompt Asa. I'd rather let her get there in her own time. Yes, well, Chisato had a Western style wedding. It was very grand. She wore a big white dress with viol and she looked beautiful. Everybody thought so. I was her bridesmaid. I had to wear this pastel dress Chisato had picked out for me. It wasn't as fancy as Chisato's dress, of course, but I wasn't the star of the show. It was a bit embarrassing, though, having all these eyes on me. Asa shivers. The wedding took place at a huge venue. Chisato invited so many guests. I had no idea she had so many friends. It made me feel a bit inadequate. I can't imagine when I get married. If I get married, I'll have half as many people show up to celebrate. Oh, that's what most people be feeling, though. Half people coming up. There'll always be a lot, though, but let's all hope there'll be a lot. It was so noisy I could hardly hear myself think. But that isn't the part that's really bothering me. No, Asa shakes her head. My grandma took me to one side when the ceremony was over. She was asking me, well, you know what grandparents can be like, you know. My own grandparents are pretty chill, actually. The ones there who are still alive, at least on my mother's side. But maybe that's because I'm a guy. There's less pressure on me, I guess, to hurry up and get married. I imagine that is what she was nagging you about. You wouldn't imagine correctly. Well, that wasn't too hard, as it talked to me about her grandmother before, and she sounded like nagging old Harridan, a regular harpy. She got started on my hair like she usually does, though she couldn't comment on my clothes, not when I was wearing that dress. I wonder what dress it looked like, though, at least. I want to see her wear this. She said I looked nicer than usual, at least, but that was all thanks to Shato's keen eye when it comes to fashion. Ouch! Talk about backhanded compliment. I don't think she meant to compliment me at all. She never does. She always finds something to scold me for. I'm already 24, but she treats me like a little girl. She asked me when I was going to follow in Chisato's footsteps and get married, but then she said, I need a boyfriend for that first. I not made so much progress there. It didn't make me feel very good about myself. Asa sighs. And then to make matters worse, she said I'd never be able to get a boyfriend the way I am now. Not when I've let myself go so much. What did she mean by that? She meant that I gained weight. What? She told me I was getting chubby and no man would ever fall in love with me. Nonetheless he has some kind of fetish. Damn, why is your grandma trying to do like fat shame? That's crazy. I mean, hey, the gym is there, but still, like you're putting too much on her. Oh, Asa, I excel in sympathy with the employee who now looks so distraught. I'm afraid she might start sobbing. Asa has accomplished about her appearance already, but with how short she is, she doesn't need to start worrying about her weight too. That was a horrible thing for your grandmother to say. You shouldn't listen to her. Shouldn't I? Now what should I say in response to that? As for something like this is actually a series that matters. For somebody going through all that, maybe your grandmother has a point. I think you're fine to yeah. I mean, look, she's not really too huge, like at least not 600 pound lifestyle. If you get what I mean, she's fine as she is though. When you see her, she's not bad though. No, you don't even look even. She doesn't even look a little fat, bit fat though. I think she was just saying that you that to get your under your skin. I can't even talk. What the hell? This is so bad. I'm just. Let's just do this. Maybe, but well, I did weigh myself after I got back from the wedding and the numbers. Asa blushes. I don't want to go into specifics, but I am heavier than I thought. I think I really have to put on weight. I'm trying not to think about it, but it's been bugging me so much I've started to think I should do something about it. And by something you mean I should probably go on a diet for start. I've been eating too much lately, mostly because of you. What? Because of me? What? What did I do? Yes, you. You keep making lunch for me, which I appreciate, but your proportion size are too big. You always make too much rice, and you prepare too many sides. And the worst thing is, I can't stop eating it. Your food is simply too delicious. Your cooking is even better than your mother's. Okay. You fattened me up over the years with all your delicious ginger chicken. Ah, so that's the problem, is it? I thought I was being considerate for cooking for Asa, but I guess she's right. I think I do overestimate her appetite. I need to eat less for your cooking. If I'm ever going to shed these excessive pounds, I need to think about my exercising regimen too. You have to, you have an exercise regimen? Beyond walking to and from work and hauling boxes of books around? I mean, that's not bad. Asa shakes her head. No, I don't. That's why I need to start. One, if I don't, I'll keep getting weight and then I'll only prove my grandmother right. I don't really care about getting a partner, but I don't want her laughing at me. If I had a waistline like Kitty Karen, I'm sure she'd stop teasing me. Who's Kitty Karen? Some kind of model? I guess you could say that. Yeah, she's a social media star. I've been following her rapid pound account for a while. I'm guessing IU must be on there if you guys know from Sakura Sucky, but she's there too. She dresses up in a lot of cute outfits, and she takes photos just like this. Asa holds her phone for inspection, and I lean it in to check it out. Oh, her. On the screen is a woman in what appears, like Asa said, to be very cute outfit indeed. So much so it's actually a bit nauseating. The woman in the photograph, Kitty Karen, I guess, has long, pale hair tied back in two bunches, which is stud with variety of cute clips. She's wearing a long sleeve sailor shirt, which is coupled with a pink high waist skirt, which swishes about her thighs. A pair of pink glasses are perched on her nose, and in one hand, she's clasping a rainbow lollipop. Kitty Karen's tongue pokes playfully out of her mouth to laugh at the lollipop she's clutching, almost like a microphone. So, what do you think? Is she cute? I mean, she's alright though. She reminds me of someone though. She's pretty cute, yeah. I can definitely see the appeal. She reminds me of someone. I gotta figure this out. It has to be someone though. I bet she took a long time to put her outfit together. She's wearing so much stuff in her hair. I know, right? Kitty Karen's looks are always incredibly coordinated. I can tell she takes her appearance seriously. It's so brave of her to dress up like this on a regular. Her outfits are really attention grabbing. I love her clothes, but I'd be too shy to dress up like her. Hmm. I frown. You don't want to dress like that too, do you, Asa? I can't think of anything less Asa like than Kitty Karen's ostentatious attire. Like I've said, Asa doesn't really do girly. She never wears dress apart from, I guess, at important family events like weddings. That was my impression of Asa, at least. But maybe she has hidden depths. Rather than refuting my queries, she instead blushes and looks down at the table. It wouldn't be bad, I guess, to dress up like this every once in a while. I don't think I could pull it off, though. My face is too plain and I don't have the figure for it. If I tried, everybody would laugh at me. I don't need to give my grandmother even more ammunition to use against me. Ah, Asa sighs and sets her phone down. Look, well, whatever. I don't think I'd ever be able to work up the courage to dress in such a flashy way. I don't want people staring at me. I like it if my figure could look a bit like Kitty Karen's, though she's very slender. I bet her grandmother never laughs at her. Well, I wonder. I wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if Kitty Karen's clothes course a few laughs, what with how over the top they are, especially given those cat ears. I can't understand what's the purpose they serve, if any. They seem completely extraneous, and I'm not sure if they really go with her outfit either. I decided to keep my thoughts to myself. However, Asa is obviously a big Kitty Karen fan, and I don't want to hurt her feelings. I have no idea what Kitty Karen family might think about her, but I know what I think about you at least. I think you're plenty attractive, regardless of what you or your grandmother might think. Do you really think of that? I do, yeah. I'm not just saying it either. You know I'm not the sort of guy who sugarcoats things. In my eyes, at least you're just fine, but however, Asa smile. If you're unhappy with yourself, it's fine if you want to work on your body. Dieting's alright if you don't do it exercisely, and I've heard exercise can be good for your health. If you if you're serious about this, then I'll back you up. Yeah, my full sport. Just don't feel obliged to change your habits because of those things your grandmother said. You don't owe her anything. Well, I know that, and don't worry, I don't want to change because of her. I started to think about my weight because she pointed it out, but after doing some research, I think I like to get into healthier habits. I'm not doing this for my grandmother, I want to do it for me. Well, good. That's all that matters then. I'll be cheering you on from the sidelines. In fact, maybe I could try and unearth some old fitness books from the storeroom. I'm sure we have plenty of them. They might be a bit outdated though. Thank you, Soleil. That's very kind of you. Don't mention it. It's the least I could do. Really. Asa looks a little happier. Now as she seizes the hold of her mug of beer, then begins to drink. Oh boy. Once she consumes about half of it, she sets down the glass and looks at me. No. That's not everything though. I actually have one more question. Which is, I was wondering if I should take up jogging. I've heard that's a good way to stay in shape, and it should help me lose weight. I've actually never been jogging before though, and the thought of going alone is a bit embarrassing. I don't really like drawing attention to myself, but as his voice trails off, but I think I can see where this is going already. I've known Asa long enough. It's easy for me diving what she's really wrangling for. Do you want me to go jogging with you? Yes, that's what I was hoping for. But would that be too much of a pain? I don't want to burden you. Asa, I click my tongue. I don't know where you got that silly idea, but you're not a burden. Are you sure? I'm sure you're a wonderful employee, and I've never had cause to complain about your conduct. You've been nothing but polite and helpful over the years, and I owe you a lot. If you want to ask a favor from me, you're more than welcome. I don't mind at all. I like it, in fact, when you rely on me. And to answer your question, no, I wouldn't mind going jogging with you. You wouldn't? I nod. I actually went through a bit of a fitness kick myself back at university. I went to the gym for a few months and it was pretty refreshing, though I wound up dropping it. Largely because my partner at the time, Ranko, who talked me into going to the gym in the first place, wound up dropping me. Damn! That's a big L. But I don't say that. I'd rather not talk about Ranko right now. I was thinking I should start taking my health more seriously again. I need to take better care of myself, and it'd be nice if we had a shared interest outside of work. Anyway, I was thinking that too. We've known one another for a long time, but we hardly ever talk to one another when we're not in the store. I would like to become better friends with you. If that doesn't sound too forward, it's a bit forward, yeah. But I really don't mind. I consider you less of an employee at the moment, anyway, and more as a friend. Now, since there's no time like the present, why don't you meet up at my house tomorrow morning? It's the weekend, so the store will be closed. We can stay out for as long as we want. Right. Asa nods, her eyes alight with newfound determination. Thank you so much for listening to me, Sohei. Really are an amazing boss, and an amazing friend too. With you by my side, I'm sure I'll be able to do my best. Ah, there we go. Make her happy. That's what we gotta do. Gee, what a day. I lie in bed later that night, curl up beneath my sheets, and stare aimlessly at the ceiling. It's pretty late for me at least. The clock beside my bed table says 2300, which is probably early for others. I bet university students across the country will scoff at me, but I need to get my beauty rest. Gee, I wonder what this is in regular time, because this is literally military time right here. 6 days out of E7, I need to wake up early at around 6 so I can wash that and dress, eat breakfast, and open up the bookstore. My store doesn't get all that many customers, it's true, but I make a habit of opening at 7 on the dot, just like my grandpa did when he was alive. I can't afford to yawn at my customers while sitting behind the counter. It wouldn't seem professional. I bet if my friends from university could see me now, they'd bemoan how something I've gotten in my old age, but then again, I've never been much of a party person. I like being on my own for the most part. Not that I'm completely isolated. I have Asa. I see her pretty often since we work together, but I'm looking forward to going jogging with her. I think it'll be fun. I haven't pushed myself like this since I was dating Ranko. I just hope everything will work out. Alright. I yawn to turn over my bed. My covers rumple about my body. My eyes fall shut as they do. I begin to wonder, what exactly will tomorrow bring? Right now, it's still a mystery. The next morning. Hey there, Soy, are you ready to go? As ready as I'll ever be, I guess, but I look Asa up and down, then frown. It's pretty early, 8 on the dot, according to my watch, and Asa stopped by like she said, would so we can go jogging. I'm pretty perturbed by Asa's presence despite the early hour, but I do have a few reservations about her choice in footwear. My reservations are so pronounced that they must be apparent in my expression. Because of Asa frowns. What is it? You don't feel sick, don't you? No, oh no, that's not it. I'm as fit as fiddle, really. Good, I'm glad to hear it. I was afraid you might call off today. You should know that I wouldn't do that, Asa. As I said, I come with you, and I meant it. I'm not the sort of man who'd go back on the word, not even if I was hacking or coughing. If you were hacking and coughing, I wouldn't insist on you coming jogging with me at all. I feel guilty, so you say, but I've heard exercise is good. Way to stave off illness. You wouldn't be starving anything off if you were sick already, though you only risk giving me your cold. That's a good point, but I don't have a cold, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about me at all, in fact. I am, however, worried about you. What? But why? Because of your shoes, I think they might cause a few problems. Oh. Asa looks down her footwear, then blinks. The rest of Asa's outfit seems fairly practical as far as jogging goes. She's wearing a plain vest, a jacket, and a pair of jeans. But her shoes are definitely not the sort of shoes you expect to wear while pounding the pavement. Rather than a beaten up pair of sneakers like I've opted for, Asa is instead wearing some fairly cute boots with wedge heels. I don't know much or anything about women's shoes, but those heels look like they'd be hard enough to walk in, let alone jog in. They're a disaster just waiting to happen. Don't you have a suitable set of shoes to wear something without heels, maybe? I wouldn't want you turning your ankle. Well, I'm glad you're concerned about me, but I'm sure I'll be fine. These boots are more practical shoes I own. My others all have heels that are even higher. Gee, she wear all heels? My god. I shake my head. It's a little funny that Asa is such a devoted of heels shoes when the rest of her attire is so overly tomboyish. One would think one would think to look at Asa that she doesn't care much about her outward appearance, but this hypothetical person would be dead wrong. Asa's actually pretty self-conscious. Her concerns are her weight is related to the new fixation, but she's fussed about her height or lack of ever since I can remember her. Asa is very short. I'm not tall for a guy myself. I'm about 5'6", but Asa is a good head shorter than I am. She hovers at around the 4'7" mark, a fact which causes her of no end of grief. I've often heard Asa bemoaning her appearance with words to the effect of, "I look just like a child, and I'm ever smaller than the 12-year-old niece. And how will anybody ever take me seriously?" As for myself, I think Asa's plenty cute, in part because she's so tiny, but I don't, of course, tell Asa this. I don't think she appreciated. I feel obliged to comment on her boots, though I don't have much of a choice. Those heels might go away to preserving her self-esteem, but they seem looking downright precautious. Maybe we should put today's jog on hold until you've had the time to buy yourself a pair of sneakers. I don't want you falling over, not on my watch. We'll be planning to go jogging today, so hey, I've already performed all my stretches, so I'm nice and limber. I don't want my motivation to go to waste. If we wait until I bought new pairs of shoes, I know I'll end up putting it off, and then I'll never get into a healthy exercise regimen. That's a good point. That's a good point, I guess. I know myself how easy it is to let things slide by the waysides, but it's not quite enough to sway me. Sometimes we have no choice but to wait. Jogging can be hard enough on the body as it is without you making it worse. Do you really want to risk your safety? I won't be at any risk, so I promise I'm used to jogging on heels. Jogging in them shouldn't be any different. Nah, that's cap. That is cap. That is major cap. Jogging on heels? I'm not doubting you've experienced, but that you shouldn't doubt me. I wouldn't give you any cause to worry about me, so please try to relax. I'm not as clumsy as you seem to think I am. Everything will be perfectly fine, I promise. I hope so, because you're going to be falling onto the floor like face first. Everything will be perfectly fine, she said. She even promised as much, as though it's impossible to make such promises about the future, which is unknown even to the best of us. I still want to give Asa the benefit of the doubt, though. She's a sensible woman, in most respects at least, and I figured that if she decided it was possible to run in those boots, then I should have believed her. I told myself I was worried too much, but... oh boy. I didn't expect this to happen, but... oh no. This is so embarrassing. How did things end up like this? Guess you fell. You're wearing those... oh boy. This is bad. My concerns were in the end right on the money. Asa might be able to walk in those boots, but jogging is a different beast. She's not gone jogging before as far as I'm aware, so it was only a matter of time really before she had a mishap. Even professional athletes can turn their ankles while wearing flat-soled shoes, but Asa's no pro. She's not even an amateur. She's a complete newbie at this exercise malarkey, and so of course she tripped. Now Asa sprawled on the ground. Out in the local park, her jacket slipping down her shoulders and her feet tucked beneath her thighs. As luck would have it, the sprinkles are on the part which might be why Asa took the tumble she slipped and it fell. Now she's all damp. Her choppy hair sticks wetly to her cheeks and in front of her vest is sodden. Her vest is pretty thin. Actually, I can see the outline of her through its fabric, but no, I mustn't stare. I'm supposed to think, to look, to looking out for Asa, not looking down on her. I can't believe it. I can, and quite readily too, but I decide most periodically to keep quiet about it. There's no point saying I told you so, even if I did tell her so multiple times. In fact, she must be embarrassed even though as it is, without me making things worse. Are you alright, Asa? I lean down to extend my hand towards her. Can you stand? Oh, I think I'll be alright, thank you. So you don't hurt anywhere, do you? My knees hurt a bit, but I don't think I have any serious injuries. That's good, I'm relieved. Now come on. My hand hovers before Asa's face, which she, after a moment, pauses and accepts. I mean, she could at least just go to the store and just like buy some, at least buy like the jogging shoes and have to continue to jog within the same day. It's possible that she could just literally do that. Her fingers, which are stained with soil and damp from the sprinklers, close about mine. I halted to her feet, prepared to catch her should be less alright than she's letting on. Fortunately, however, it doesn't seem like her fall was particularly grave, and she was able to stand without further aid. Physically, she seems okay, but mentally, as a shy girl in general, and falling over in public like that can have been good for her self-esteem. It doesn't help she managed to get so wet in the progress, or that her vest is still clinging to her pretty sizable given how short she is, bosom. We're attracting quite a few curious eyeballs. I wish people wouldn't stare so much. Don't they have any manners? Do you want to call our jogging here? I'm not in the mood anymore anyway. I think we should check your knees for any scrapes or bruises. Would you like to go back to my place? If it's no bother. You're never a bother. Don't sweat it. Asa might have done a lot of sweating earlier while she was jogging, but this is one thing I absolutely don't want her to get worked up about. Oh, thank you. Asa blushes deepens as my invitation while awkwardly she tries to conceal her chest with her arms. You're, really nice to me, so that even though I was being such a dummy, if I just listened to you, none of this wouldn't have happened. She sighs. Maybe I don't deserve your kindness. Come on, don't be like this. Don't dwell on your mistakes. What's done is done. You should have worn more sensible shoes, yeah. It's not a case of deserving, silly. I nudge Asa in the ribs, smiling as I do so. We all make mistakes, don't dwell on it. It's a mistake which could have been avoided easily, though. It could, yes, but harping on about it, what you could have done isn't going to help matters. You won't feel any better, will you, if I start scolding you? Well, no, not really. I thought as much, based on what I've heard. You get enough of that from your grandmother already. I have no desire to lay into you, not over a minor mishap like this. Now let's get going. Right. I turn and Asa hurries to keep pace with me. I make conscious efforts not to walk too quickly, so she doesn't tumble again. I don't want Asa to hurt herself. I care about her too much for that. Ugh, she's so clumsy. Today's been so rotten. Asa groans while walking in the steps beside me as we trek back to my apartment. Maybe I'm not cut out for exercising. At this rate, I'll never be able to get into shape. I'm such a klutz. I can't even jog properly. What's wrong with me? I open my mouth, meaning to console my dear friend. I can't bear to see her looking so forlorn when... Did somebody say get into shape? Oh, look who it is. Look who it is right here. If you want to start working out, it's your lucky day. A new gym recently opened up in the area, and we're looking for members. Would you be interested in signing up? A cheerful voice, which sounds oddly familiar, rings out through the streets. A voice so loud it makes several pedestrians turn and stare. Somebody must have overheard my conversation with Asa, because a woman's heading over to us. A woman wearing what looks like work attire, clutching a stack of flyers to her chest. Her hair is curly tied, back in back in a high ponytail, and her eyes are bright, clear blue, just like the summer sky. Though she dressed like that, just like she's about to hit the gym, her face is made up, her lashes lined with mascara, her lips pink and glossy. She's undoubtedly pretty, but yeah, that is what I find myself staring at her, dumbstruck. This woman's no stranger. I know her. I know her very well. In fact, though, I never thought I'd see her again. This woman is Ranko? I muttered her name under my breath, in a voice that's tight in disbelief. I suppose I mustn't said her name too softly because Ranko. I'm sure this is Ranko continues with her business smiled while thrusting a flyer in Asa's direction. The gym's only a stone throw away from here. It's a cutting-edge facility with everything any budding athlete could ever want. You can stop by either to shed some pounds or sign up for a more serious fitness regimen. There's a lot of qualified trainers at this gym who can help you stick to an exercise and diet plan. Myself included, I'd be only too happy to help a cutie like you out. You think I'm cute? You're incredibly cute, even if you are a bit damp at the moment. Yes, I had a bit of an accident with some sprinklers. That sounds quite like the story, but don't worry, I'm not gonna pry. I'm not here to ask about your private life. I'm much more interested in selling you on the gym. I know signing you up to a gym might seem intimidating, especially if you're not used to exercising, but I'll help ease you into it. We can take it real slow. The first session is totally free, so you can drop by to see if you like it or not. You don't have to stay. Of course, there's no pressure. Like, Bill, no pressure, okay? I'd be happy if you could swing by, cutie, and your handsome friend too. Would you mind stopping on by, Miss? Ranko begins to address me, but then she pauses. Realization flashes as at long it lasts across her face. Then she cries in alarm. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Is that you, Sho? Ah, it's me, yeah. In the flesh. It's good to see you again. You too. It really has been an age. What are the odds, huh? How you've been getting on? How are you doing okay? I'm doing as well as I can, I suppose. Great, I'm glad to hear it. I'm doing pretty good myself. If you're insistent, though I have been pretty busy. I've been working myself frags just so I can afford rent. But you know what they say, if you don't work, you can't eat. I happen to like a challenge, so I'm fine with things as they are. But wow, this is also wow. I seriously didn't think I'd run into you. Join the club. I'm just as surprised by all of this as you are. I see you've not changed very much. You're still the same deadpan show I remember. Oof. Sheesh. Damn. That's pretty bad. I wince winded as Ranko slaps me on the back. I'm sure she means well, but doesn't that have to use quite so much force? Asa, who's been sidelined during this unexpected reunion, looks between Ranko and I mutually. I'm sorry if I'm being nosy, but do you two know one another? Yeah, we do. Yeah, or rather, we used to. You see, now how am I going to explain this to Asa? How am I going to explain this now? I'm not sure why I feel so awkward. It's not like I've been caught out two-timing my girlfriend or anything, but for some inexplicable reason, I can feel sweat beginning to bead on my forehead. I've never talked about Ranko to Asa before, not that I was trying to hide the matter from her, it's just never seemed relevant. Talking about Ranko was too awkward. Now that Asa met Ranko, however, I have no choice but to introduce them. I think I need to approach this sensitively. I'm going to choose my words with the uttermost care. Ranko, you see, used to be my so here used to be my boyfriend. God damn it. Grr. We dated back in university for a time. We were super lovely dovey. Oh, right. I see. Um, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I don't want to get in your way, so maybe I should go? Nah, it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. Sho and I have been a thing in ages. That's like old news. Old news, am I? That's smart. That's... What the Oh my goodness. I need to be off myself soon. I gotta give it out all these flyers before the sunset, which is no easy task. Still, wow. Now that we've met up like this, Sho, you simply gotta stop by the gym. And you and your girlfriend, we can have a proper catch up then. Girlfriend? I think you're misunderstanding as it isn't my. Don't be a stranger now, Sho. It'd be rude to just stop up and ignore me after we've met again. After all these years. You wouldn't want to make me cry, would you? Oh, what the hell? I feel like that being my line. Ranko was, in fact, the one who dumped me since then. I've not seen her. It's been almost 5 years since we split up, and I thought I'd gotten over her, but I hope to see you at the gym again. This would be, like, so much fun. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, see your ex at the gym and she wants to come back. I ain't gonna. If that were to be me, I would not. I would even not bother at all. So Saint Ranko turns away and begins to pester other pedestrians into taking her flyers. Is anyone interested in coming along to the gym? The first session is free. It's a state-of-the-art gym with all sorts of fancy equipment. Won't you take a flyer, ma'am? What about you, sir? Please come on over. Ranko looks utterly unaffected by a reunion, but it's really thrown me for a loop. I can't do anything other than stand there rooted. The spot like a tree. So I've met up with my ex-girlfriend. Now, what am I supposed to do? Can I really stomach seeing Ranko again? I don't really know, but part of me doesn't want to pass this opportunity up. It would feel like a waste not to. I really, though, what are the odds? It's a small world after all, you know. Ah, that is really, really embarrassing. I can't believe it. I had no idea you dated back in university, so hey. I bend to remove my shoes and set them aside. Straighten them up, I take a seat on the couch, opposite Asa and frown. I wish you didn't sound quite so surprised about that. What? But why? It's the implication behind it I don't like. Should it really come as such as a shock that yes, I have dated in the past? You don't think I'm completely frigid, do you? Oh no, of course not. I really wasn't trying to say that you were frigid or that, I don't know, that you're a loveless virgin or something. What? A loveless virgin? What the hell is that? I just think it's odd. You had such a long-standing relationship with this woman. This Ranko and you never mentioned her to me before. I thought I never knew you better than that. I mean, Asa dips her head, her cheeks flushing. I know you're not childhood friends or anything, but we have been working together for almost 3 years now. I told you a lot about my past, about my love life, or lack of. I figured you've done the same with me, especially since you've dated Ranko for such a long time. Meeting her like that, out of the blue, I don't know. It feels like I've discovered a whole new side of you. It's strange. Ah, I see. So Asa wasn't trying to take a dig at my prowess, or lack of, I suppose, given it's been years since I last had a relationship. She is simply curious, which is understandable. It's true enough that I've never talked to her about Ranko, but then again, I've not talked to too many people about Ranko. It's been years since we broke up, but it still hurts. I think that might be why, in part, it's not try. I've not tried not to date since. It doesn't seem worth the effort. I'm sorry if you feel left out, Asa. I wasn't trying to keep you in the dark. There are just some things I don't want to talk about. Well, anyways, everyone, that is the end of today's video, everyone. So thank you, everyone, for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's hit 5 likes on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.